And we thank you for joining the Talk Shop Candidate Awareness Tour 2026, live from Studio 255 in the Laramie Plains Civic Center. I'm with Lisa Kinney. She's running for U.S. Congress for the great state of Wyoming. And Lisa, you have joined us bravely in the 6 o'clock hour, a morning girl. You are wonderful for joining us. We appreciate you bringing your green parade running for Wyoming right here to the talk shop. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Fantastic, fantastic. I missed
Good.
you in Cheyenne yesterday, and
Yeah.
and although I did, both of us took in one of Cheyenne Frontier Day's newest highlights in 2026, the Morning Star Indian Village, the Morning Star American Indian Village, and no more is the Indian Village at the corner of what would that be? Central? No, is it Central? Central and Eighth? Is that where that Eighth and Central? I forget what the road is. Goes right down the gut of between Lions Park and Cheyenne Frontier Park. You
Yeah,
you
I
know
don't
what
know
that
where it
road
used
is?
to be. No, I don't. Oh,
Well,
not
you
yet.
know, you know the Morning Star Village. What was your impression taking it all in yesterday?
Well, I don't know how you could not love the music, the dancing, the enthusiasm, the culture. Native Americans are a huge part of our town, of our city, of our state, of our country. And I'm just kind of sad that there's some attempt to try and take out some of their history that's going on right now, and that makes me kind of sad too.
What
But
uh what was your first impression as you walk? I don't know which way you approached. I came from the Old West Museum direction, more from Municipal City Pool in Cheyenne towards the main grandstand, what was formerly known by many as Wild Gulch, is now Old Frontier Town, and in between Frontier Town and the easterlymost side of the Cheyenne Frontier Days, Daddy of them all tracks, and that whole arena was the American Indian Village, the Morning Star American Indian Village, and what used to be parking all throughout is now a maze of 8 foot concrete paths and little knolls and it just spans a way for families to meander and take in the sounds of the Western heritage Cheyenne Frontier Days.
yeah, it was really beautiful. I went by Mac and Cheese, the Mac and Cheese stands, and through all of the carnival rides. So I don't know if that's the same way you did, but there were hundreds of little stores, and not hundreds, but probably dozens of little stores, and there was beautiful beatery and rugs and people, and it was lovely. That was my route, but it was still a beautiful place. I'm glad they built it. There was one. I found someplace that one individual spent more than $1 million and put it up. So that was a good donation to the Frontier Days.
I watched gosh I watched a few of the dances as well. So the costumes and that heritage apparel that they don, that's ceremonial, most impressive. And families of each of the dancers unite in that celebration of dance, and that there was a unity of the entire facility, that is the village today at Cheyenne Frontier Park.
It's wonderful. I danced. I don't know whether you danced. They have a dance at the beginning and a dance at the end, and I danced at the end, and it's just lovely. I worked at the Wind River Reservation, especially in Arapahoe and Fort Washakie, for about 15 years, setting people up in retirement. And I found, because I went to talk to some of the people afterwards, some of the dancers, and I found the grandchild of two of my clients, and that was really fun too. So it was a great experience, and dancing is such a big part of their heritage. Before, when I was working with them, I would ask them about dancing and about playing drums and about their culture. And finally, one woman they would teach me, and then I'd dance, and they'd laugh. They thought whatever my interpretation of what they were teaching me wasn't very good. But anyway, it was it was an amazing experience working with so many people for so long. And I'll tell you, they one of the things I did in setting people up, I retirement wasn't something they're used to, and I found one. They have a grandma program at Fort Washakie, and I signed up a woman who was 80 years old for her first time with retirement, first time she'd ever had it. And then I worked with her for 8 years, and then I went to her retirement party, actually 9 years, at age 89. So there's a lot of interesting things going on, and I was lucky to be part of their culture for a long time.
Well, it's a beautiful opportunity for folks in Cheyenne, as well as visiting Cheyenne, to take in more culture. And you know very well that I didn't dance, and you know very very well that I did not dance,
I'm
and so
disappointed.
I but I want to. I'm not beyond the challenge, but I'm also completely capable of turning away from that particular challenge because they I saw probably a 5 year old do it was a tribute dance and there were three dancers that came from different tribe areas and that it was just even the youngster so deliberate, so the method so beautiful, and I think the costume itself that really enhances the whole experience. The circular the circular arena that is the village today, the dance arena is spectacular. Great addition, wonderful. The food complements the entire atmosphere as well. There's certainly exhibitors that are heritage members of given tribes, and it has an authenticity today that shows great investment, and it really is, I think, worthwhile for people to check out. I will warn everybody, parking is virtually no more at Cheyenne Frontier Park. You will park and ride. You will seek the neighborhood adjacent areas as parking. Just want to warn you: do not wait until the last minute to make a timed event. If you have something starting at a certain time, want to make sure everybody does that. You know, speaking of time, Lisa Kinney, you started your campaign in the spring for U.S. Congress in Wyoming. Early voting began this week on Tuesday, and have you voted yet?
No, I haven't voted yet. I'm going to mail mine in, and that's a joke. But what I have had people, I'm going to go and vote sometime soon. But people have been telling me they already voted for me, and that's good. That's a good thing to have happen. We have, as most states, all states, we have a strong voting system. We go to other countries to show people what great voting systems we have. So yeah, I've been working on it a long time. I have total confidence in our voting system, and I was sorry to see that Congress yesterday passed the SAVE Act, which means that possibly up to 69 million women won't be able to prove that they have a different name than what they were born with. It's a terrible act, and I would recommend everyone call their senators and tell them to vote against that. They won't, but I would still call and express the fact that we do not need a SAVE Act, which will disenfranchise millions of people. Millions of people. I have my same last name, so it won't hurt me. But any other woman who's taken a husband's name and has a different name on her birth certificate is going to have a problem. And they need to know that they can't have a marriage license. They have not a copy. They have to have an original one. The whole thing is a mess. It's not a voter ID. We all believe in voter IDs. I do. Why not? I do it whenever I go. But if you have to prove that you are the person on your birth certificate, that gets very tricky, especially for women. And that's just one of the many groups. So
Lisa
I'm very
Kinney,
upset
Lisa
by
Kinney, our
that.
guest this morning, briefly, but we have about 2 minutes. Lisa,
Oh,
your state on the Democratic election in Wyoming. What observation do you have about history that takes us back to a name, Tino Roncalio?
Dino Roncalio was voted in 1965. That's the last Democrat that was elected to the House in Wyoming. And that's when he started 65. He went off and on until like 1978. But here's the thing, we have to have me voted in because it's been a long time. That's number one. Number two, it showed yesterday that the people who are winning are the ones who are spending millions of dollars. And I know the people in Wyoming, four of them, four, are spending $1 million. I'm not spending a million. That's not who Wyoming is. You need to vote for someone who's normal, who's not going to go out and buy an election. And that's who I am. And I hope that everybody looks me up on or calls me or whatever. It's Lisa Kinney 2026 at wyoming.com. We need to have a normal person. Not these people aren't normal. I like them, but they're spending millions of dollars to buy your vote. And why would you do that? Why would we do that as a state? And apparently those are the four who are leading in the polls. I don't have a million. I'm not going to spend a million. And if I did have a million, I'd be spending it on food for people. I'd be giving it to all the food kitchens that need to feed people. And instead we're spending it on trying to buy a person's vote. And that's not right. That's just not right. So
Lisa
that's where
Kinney,
I am.
Lisa Kinney, she's running for you and she speaks Wyoming. Lisa, what does it mean to speak Wyoming?
That means that the people who are in there right now have forgotten who they represent. And that's another long thing. But right now, our three reps are representing Washington. All they do is what Washington wants. I speak Wyoming because I talk to Wyoming. I do what Wyoming needs. I talk to people. And I'm going to go in there and represent every day who the people of Wyoming are, what our needs are, and keep our public lands for us and not try to get rid of them in bill after bill after bill. I like Harriet Hageman, but she's wrong. She's been introducing at least 4 bills to get rid of our public lands. Um, we can't do that. We need to save our state. We need to have our public lands right in front of us at all times and not give them to the wealthy or to the state or to some other group. And that's what we have to do. We have to have someone who's going to go in and fight. And I don't see any fighters. I just see people in Washington who are saying whatever is said in Washington, they have to do. And I'm sorry about that. So that's why I speak
Lisa
Wyoming.
Kinney, Lisa Kinney, our morning guest on the Candidate Awareness Tour 2026. Good morning and thank you and have a great, great Wyoming day. Lisa Kinney for U.S. Congress in Wyoming.
Thanks. Vote for me.